Welcome back to another episode of The Peak, everyone. We're here with some amazing staff members, artists, and some of the best people from the Creatives Atlanta. And they are a group of like-minded people who facilitate these artists to get to great places. I was scrolling on the Instagram earlier, and I seen that you guys have kind of like a scheduled lineup in your description of what's coming next as far as the shows and the places that you guys are performing. And so the first thing I want to know before we get to any introductions is, what is the core mission of the Creatives Atlanta?
Yes, so we are the Creatives Atlanta. We are big on collaboration. We're big on us artists and musicians coming together no matter where you are in your music journey. So we may have an artist that we're working with that's, who's at the top of the scale, ready for a Grammy charting, and we might have an artist who is full-time teacher and who's doing it for fun. So we come together no matter where you are in your music journey. So we're big on collaboration, musicianship, and just coming together.
No, I think that's really important. And so who are we here with today? I know the infamous Mr. C. And so let's get some introductions going.
Yes.
Where are you from, first of all?
So I'm Victoria.
Mhm.
I'm from Savannah, Georgia. Been living in the ATL for about 5-6 years. So as far as the creators, I do all the branding and social media. So I'm the look behind the Creators Atlanta.
Right. And you've been doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
Great job. Great
Thank
job.
Absolutely.
My good sir?
Yes, sir. My name is Bunkin Payne.
Big Bunkin.
Big Bunkin, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Kentucky, born and raised, and then I came to Atlanta probably 2013, I would say.
Yeah.
Been here for off and on ever since. Grew up in church. That's where I started music. So, I'm a vocalist, host, drummer. About to be a keyboardist. That's right. I keep working with Mrs. C.
You practicing on the keyboard?
Oh,
right
yeah,
now?
I'm practicing again, man.
That's my
about
dream, is to play the piano and the guitar.
Come talk to Mrs. C, man. Get you right.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. You know how much time it takes.
I know.
God.
At least
Mr. C, tell us about yourself.
Born in Germany. Hometown is Columbus, Georgia. And actually, we founded the Creatives along with my nephew probably like 2.5 years ago. So that's what I do. I do everything in music. We record it, teach it, perform it, produce it.
That's fire. And so when it comes to the Creatives Atlanta and the collective itself, how does the structure benefit the artists involved compared to them working independently?
So we call ourselves like the music or the Justice League. So we all are separate entities, but we come together to save the world doing music. So that's pretty much our structure. Of course, we do have regulations, different things that we follow. So I'm considered as Batman. We got Superman and Victoria. She is the infamous Queen Vic. And then we also got Bunkin Payne, and his name, I'm still trying to figure out what his name is.
Yeah.
What's the Marshmallow Man or something?
Martian Man. Oh my goodness.
The Marshmallow Man.
The Marshmallow Man. I might have to use that, low key. That was kind of fire. Marshmallow Man.
All right,
but let me speak on that from an artist perspective, because I feel like it's important to know as an independent artist, especially not being from Atlanta, who you can work with and who you can't. Being with the Creators, Mr. C and Victoria, has really opened up a lot of opportunities that you wouldn't get unless you're paying money first.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the biggest things as an artist that you would want to know. These are trustworthy people who aren't trying to take your money out of your pocket. They want to know you're willing to invest in yourself as much as they're willing to invest in you. So
I feel like every artist could benefit from that. Yeah, every single one.
Regardless of where you at in your artistry, yeah.
Right. And so speaking of the artists that you all have been partnered up with, that you all are helping, that are part of this family that you've created, what is the process to becoming a member of the coalition, the Creatives?
Yeah, so a couple months ago, we held auditions. We found that some of the creators that were working with us was going through holiday scheduling, and they couldn't make the time slots of our residencies. So for about 2-3 months, we held Monday auditions, and so we were calling out all the artists and creatives in Atlanta. And so they met with us on Monday at Lucky Johnson's studio, and so they went through the process of auditioning. And so what does that look like? So that looks like, we go over their harmonies, their scales. We ask a series of questions, and then they move through that process. And then we see if what they want align with what our goals are. And so as we got to a certain number, we quit our auditions because right now we're just kind of full and we're not looking for anyone. But we are thinking to maybe hold auditions once a year just to kind of refreshing our group.
Right. No, I think that's important to, even if no one gets picked up in those auditions,
Right.
at least to, see what's going on out there, because you never know, and you could be pleasantly surprised. Speaking of being surprised at those auditions, Bunkin probably one of the greatest artists, but who's someone else that surprised you that you're like, oh, I'm so happy to have him a part of this collective?
That's the flu of them.
So many.
Yeah.
Yes. Our first artist that we started working with, Dimitri, he was incredible, just incredible gospel singer, R&B singer. We have another one. She's an independent artist. She goes by the name of Jeray, and she's phenomenal. Just her confidence is on a whole nother level, and she's definitely on her way. And then you have the ones that kind of show up to auditions really shy, really quiet, and then they get on stage and they wake up. So I think everyone has that thing, that spark that sets them apart from everyone else.
Yeah. And so a lot of these artists, they might come and wow you, but I think a lot of what you guys do is help put the right pieces around the artist for them to flourish. And so how does this collective support its artists in their creative and professional development when it comes to, growing as an artist, but also growing as a musician?
Mm-hmm. So basically how that happens is we kind of do a triage process, and basically we kind of tell them about us, they tell us about themselves, and then we kind of go over, our processes and different things of that nature. And then what we do is what Victoria had made mention of, we do like an individual assessment. So a lot of times in the music world, people say they love music, but just imagine if you was with your best friend or someone that you know for a long time, and then you didn't even know their birthday. So music is like that. You have to know the past and the present, at least know the past, the foundation of music. So that's what we teach is really, a lot of times we get singers and musicians that come in and they say they love music, but they don't know the intricacies of music. What whole note, half note, quarter note, like what is the foundation? What are those 12 notes that these Ray Charles and these people speak of? These are music foundations that you must know, major and minor. What are your scales? So these are things that we teach. And if you're able to understand the foundation of a thing, then you can take it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I agree with that. As an artist myself, when I was in school, I'm in high school, and they're trying to teach me music theory. And they're not even really trying to teach music theory, but we're in band. They have to go over it at a certain point.
Right.
It's not a music theory class. It's just a band class.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you're not really grasping how important this stuff that's in front of you is at the time. And so now, even the little bit that I soaked in from barely paying attention during high school is like, it helps me every day behind the microphone.
Yeah.
It helps me when it comes to really making music that'll last a super, super long time, And so I feel like it's important that you teach those things, as well as the history of whatever genre or music in general,
Right.
You need to be able to go back to where it began in order to really take it to the next level. I think that's super, super important. And so what are some of the biggest challenges that you all have faced when you're growing this collective? It's really big now, but take us back to the beginning.
Well, so basically I was mentioning the triage process. We go over the goals and then expectations. So a lot of times when you're working with people, we normally do like a 90-day process, just to kind of see if we vibe, see if we operate in reciprocity. You scratch our back, we scratch your back. So you have to make sure everyone is aligned. And then sometimes people are aligned, sometimes they aren't. So some of the challenges we have had, as in the beginning, it was just me and my nephew. So we kind of operated out of our home. We started at a place called Underground. So that's where I got the idea. And I was like, we need to start a group.
Yeah.
And then we started doing like little locations, placing Ostel called Blaze. And then from there, now we're doing Blue Martini. We're doing just a plethora of places.
Love the Blue Martini.
So, and then we also have some partners, some allied partners. We got Lucky Johnson. He does movies. Actually, I did my second movie with him.
Yeah, that's
So I
great.
did my first movie with another friend of mine, but I
Yeah.
did first movie with him. So we just been kind of. He came to one of our events.
Our first event, actually. It was our first ever.
Yeah, it was one of our events. Cause first was at Blaze, then we
Yeah.
did some other ones. Then we went to Continent, went there, and then that's where Lucky, he said he discovered us. But now he's an honorary member.
Right.
So it's all about just finding those right allied partners where you can take it to the next level. But I would say the greatest challenge is trying to get everybody on the same vision, on the same mission. One of our missions is our values is operating integrity and execution, duplication, being professional. Those things are just some of the core values that we really try to embody so we can take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like some of the biggest challenge. And then everything is a process. So, I'm a much older, mature gentleman. So sometimes when you get young people that are, just really coming into the world, then they try to figure out, okay, what are these processes? What are these things so everything is a process. You learn how to be professional. You learn how to do business with values and operating integrity and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
And I would say two other challenges would be scheduling, because anytime you bring people together, everyone is operating at a different schedule. Some people work full-time, some people do music full-time.
Yeah.
So coming together for our rehearsals and our show times. Another opportunity would be most of us are on different scales in our music mastery. So some might be comfortable in hitting a harmony or a note, and someone might be at a beginner stage. And just kind of bringing that together and, making sure that everyone is operating at the same level as much as possible. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like an important part of that is going to be teaching those core music values.
Yes.
You've got all these people who may not have been in band their whole life, may not have been orchestra or any type of formal music thing, right? And so getting them to a point where they understand that this is art, yes, but it's also it's a structure here. It's not just freelance, every note is already out there, what I mean? You can't really make anything new. And so you've got to be able to take those building blocks and build something that's like crazy, like Legos. These pieces are the same pieces that everybody uses, but you can build something crazy with it, and I think that's super important to give them those building blocks, those Legos, to really piece together what they want, get out their feelings for real, and really put what they really want to express out there and do it in a way that they can enjoy. They can look back on it and be like, oh, I really did that, and I feel like that's a great place to be. And I feel like a lot more artists need to tap in. I know you guys aren't doing a lot of the auditions or accepting a lot of new people now, but everybody out here watching, you can make something like this yourself. You can get a collective of people together and use your minds together to expand. I think that's super, super, super important. And so you talked about some of the shows that you did in the city. Let's talk about your impact in the city and how the city has scratched your back as well. And so what are some of the places that you'll never stop performing at? Some of the places that have shown you guys massive love.
Yeah, I would say most of our artists, they love Blue Martini.
Yeah.
Because of the stage and it's flashy, and we like Rose Bistro too.
Yes.
That's like our underground spot where we just go in. That's in Atlanta Station.
It's like the secret spot.
Yeah, we just go in and have fun. So that's kind of what we turn up at.
Yeah.
Blue Martini as well, and then it's just a lot of places that we've been that have kind of embraced us, then allowed us to take it to the next level. We even got it's the place we went to in Cummins, the Legends.
Yes.
The Legends place where they actually sponsor us on some things. So I would just say it's really been good if a business owner allow you to come into their particular entity and allow you just embrace and just be yourself. Like it's really good. So we appreciate all the entities that we have been a part of. So we appreciate them allowing us to come in and then just kind of go from there. So
and we've done a few. So as we plant our roots in Atlanta, We've had people to see what we're doing and to assist with us along the way. So we've done like nonprofits. We've done an organization called Pianos for Peace, where kids who play the piano, who's great on the keys, will come, and we get together at the courthouse and we'll play the piano with, like a group of kids. And we have Helpers Inc., which is a foundation that clothes homeless people. So this is our second year working with that particular organization. So as we build partnerships, people will recommend like, hey, I know a cool group band that you need to get with. They're pretty stable, and we stand in what they believe in. And so those are some of the organizations we've partnered with over the years.
Yeah, and we even got a couple churches that have us come in and do this stuff.
Yeah,
that's really
so
nice.
they build out their praise
Yeah,
teams.
what was it? Nexus. So we had Nexus.
And we're currently in 2 churches.
Yeah. So so we do all genres.
Yeah,
all genres. We even did the what was the one? The gay pride one.
Oh man,
that we did. That was we did that as well. So it's not really
in the part.
It's like no judgment.
Yeah.
So if it's music, we're gonna come in, and if we treat each other like kings and queens, we good.
And they say music is a universal language.
Yep.
It is.
So it doesn't matter how you look. It registers and it hits the same.
Yeah.
It does, definitely. Vibrations don't really have a color.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to, you've probably done tons of musical work. Can you name a project or a song that you look back on and you're just really, really happy about? And we should start with Bunkin, the artist.
Yeah.
It's Bunkin. Man, so I do have a lot of projects. So I'm not gonna lie to you, man. So it's a whole lot that I'm thinking about here. But as I find myself in this place and this question comes about, there's one project that is staying in my mind, and it is literally Bunkin Pain. Because Bunkin Pain has not always been me. I've not always been this package or image, or you know what I'm saying. I just considered myself normal, for lack of better terms. But now what I do is intentional. I have a uniform, so to speak, like my hat, my jewelry, the clothes that I wear. I might wear a turtleneck or some kind of sweater now, as opposed to costume basically. But it completes the Bunkin Pain. You know what I'm saying, and the whole image of it. So I'm really creating this person that can be, for lack of better word, shopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you want entertainment? I know a guy.
Yeah.
You want somebody to come host your wedding? I know a guy.
Yeah.
You want somebody to come to your church and host? I know it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, you need somebody to sing the national anthem in a football game? I know a guy.
Right.
Whatever it needs to be done is. So that's who Bunkin Pain's turned into. But it come from like my history in music. I grew up in marching band. I grew up in the church. Then I went to marching band, and I had good success with that. Then I went to college and did marching band. And I always sang in the bleachers, but I never put 2 and 2 together until the pandemic hit. And I was like, I can actually probably sing a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe make some music. And then I met Mr. C and Victoria, and wow.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
So check this out. I met him trying to pick up my
gosh. Come on now.
That's how we met him. Because Bunkin Pain, he's a freestyle artist, and he's fire. I mean, he can talk about anything. He can talk about anything. So that's what makes him really unique. Yeah. I call him, to me, he's more like Jamie Foxx. I never heard Jamie Foxx rap, though. I never heard him rap, though.
Okay.
But so.
I would say Dave Chappelle a little bit.
Yeah, maybe Dave Chappelle. I'm saying, though.
I'm waiting for the comedy show.
I would say more Jamie Foxx mixed with Said the Entertainer, and then you might want to throw, like a great rapper along. So that's his thing. He can sing, he can do drums, then he can host,
he's great,
and then he also can do comedy. Like he's like he's like the whole nine when it comes to it.
And so let's talk about those mashups. How are you making them? Is that like you have a turntable, or are you using a program to mash up the songs?
Just my mind.
Oh, okay.
And then on the fly.
And so you're actually freestyling the mashup out of your mouth instead of doing a program.
Yeah, man. So, and I don't want people to think that I cheat when I freestyle. So I freestyle mashups, but I also freestyle. So, for instance, if I'm having we're playing a song, right? We're doing a show, and we're playing a song like "Ain't Nobody Fresh Like Me," I'm just so like I can match that up with another song, right? In the midst of playing the exact same thing, and then I can freestyle over top of that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, it turns into a whole show,
Yeah.
for lack of better words, man. Like,
Wow.
DJ for what? Right now we got the creators. DJ, we need you on the break. We need DJs. Don't get in touch in Atlanta. We love DJs. We love y'all.
Don't get in trouble with the Atlanta DJs, man.
He might do 5 different songs, songs on that one beat,
Yeah.
right? And then he might freestyle over it. So
Right.
And he's playing the beat. Like
he's playing the beat.
So we got the band. So the creators consist of musicians, singers, just creators. Like even Victoria, she does drums now, but basically her creative side is really like the social media. So it's all types of creative.
Yeah.
But on that part is really the band, then the singers, then the rappers, and then the whole nine.
Yeah, so it's a live band.
Yeah, it's a live band.
Yeah, I'm doing this live, full live.
Yeah.
And
sometimes
so-
we don't rehearse it.
Now that reminds me when you said she's doing the drums. When I was doing my research, I seen a video.
Right.
I seen a video.
Right.
And you were like, when your drummer calls out last second and you gotta jump on. And that was you.
That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was good.
That back.
Yeah.
We have some really, really awesome drummers in the building. Our favorite, known, Kraco, he's in the corner over there. He's sitting there offering us moral support.
Where were you at, Kraco, that night?
He woke up the next morning to a really, really bad video. He was like, "What's going on?" We should be 2-3 days, and y'all got Vicky on the drum. Yes, but yeah, like I said, scheduling. Like we can't make every gig, we can't make every show.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to get in there at the last minute and
And do what you
try
gotta
it
do.
out. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so I feel like when you're surrounded by so many talented people, it's not hard to tap in. At least, 20 minutes on the drums. Like, it's not difficult, And I feel like that's the power of a coalition, of a group, of a family, is being around those people who can lift you up. And so we talked about the self-titled project, Bunk and Pain. Can you spell it for us so they know?
Yeah. BUNKINPAYNE.
There we go. Right. Just so you guys can search that up, you need to listen to that music. And so we talked about his most impactful project to him. Let's talk about performances and times you guys have been together as a group. What is an impactful time that you look back on and you're like, yo, we really did that?
Oh goodness.
Oh,
And you
man.
can't even plan those moments. We've had some notable shows. I think our first ever show at Continent Restaurant was a notable show. That was probably our first show, and that one we did with Jeray, and Jeray completely designed the whole restaurant from start to finish. She planned it out, and it was kind of like our coming out moment as a full band, full artist, and having backgrounds and stuff like that. But we've had some really good shows lately. Goodness gracious.
Brewdog.
Yes, Brewdog on New Year's.
Pasha.
Oh yes,
Blue Martini.
Pasha. We brought church in.
Well, he always bring the church.
Yeah, we brought church in. We had a whole restaurant, just loving
crazy.
Jesus that night. Yeah. That was, man, sometimes it just hit. You don't know what song is going to hit. You don't know what the level of vibes is going to be at that particular restaurant. It just kind of come in waves, Like, for example, we just had a show at Rose Bistro on Friday night, and so we knew it was going to be cold and it was going to be chill. And so we got there, and then Soul for Real, the 90s R&B group was there, vibing out.
Right.
So and then we had the guy from Silk. He hopped on our
Lil
keys,
G.
and we had a full jam session. We had a full 90s R&B jam session.
Yeah.
So it's we just kind of have an open mind and an open heart, and we just whatever is going to happen, we're just going to let it happen.
Right.
At this point, we don't even really plan it out. We have an itinerary. We know we're going to get done at night, but the way to get there and the route is just going to be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
No, I feel like that's what you got to do, especially with music. You can't always play it by the book.
You can.
Every crowd's different, and even every crowd is different on a different night.
Yes.
So you really have to adapt at that time. So I think it's dope that you guys are able to do that. Pull people in from other places and collaborate with them on the spot, and it turned out amazing, something that is memorable to you guys. I think that's really important. I think that's the type of energy that more artists need to be around in order to give them more power, of themselves. Like, I could really do this, more confidence and stuff like that. And so continue to run the city wild, please.
Yeah.
All the way from Germany.
We love our
Continue to
jam
run the city.
sessions.
Oh, we're from Germany. And I think at Blue Martini through Dimitri, we met Cisco from Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
We met him.
Mm.
Yeah, so it just sometimes we just run into a whole lot of people that have been in the music industry.
Right.
So that's what makes it great.
Yeah. I think it is great. And so speaking of the Creators Atlanta, one of the greatest coalition of artists to ever touch the grounds, how do you see it evolving and growing here in the future as we get into 2025? You guys are established now. You're doing well. You go to these places. They know you. They know you're going to smash it out. What is the next level?
I believe the next level is, like we tell the creators all the time, our goal is we want to do Center Stage, State Farm Arena, Mercedes-Benz, like those type of venues. So that's our goal. So that's why we feel like Bunkin Payne, Jure, just all of our artists, somebody's going to break that ceiling and just really take it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And then hopefully one day we'll be doing the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And then also doing our own events. And then also we also appreciate you giving us the time and give us the platform.
Absolutely.
Because you never know, tell people all the time, we try to treat everybody like kings and queens because you never know who you're talking to, what's going to be the next. But this vibe here has been really great.
Thank you.
So
it's curated.
we are happy to be on your show.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? DONFATHER.
Thank you.
DONFATHER. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
And it's just a stepping stone, but every stepping stone matters greatly. But you guys are going to go super far. What advice would you give? And this is going to be a twofold question because not only are you the staff, but we have the artists here. And so what advice would you give to emerging artists in the Atlanta scene that are looking to connect with the art scene, not just be on their own, but get out there and connect with the community of artists in Atlanta, not even just you guys, but in general?
Yeah. I would say generally what I normally, first I would say get your team, but make sure your team is together, your mind, soul, and spirit. Make sure that team is together. If that team is together, put a schedule, figure out, say, okay, how much money I want to make. That's really people, that's their thing. But first you got to have a love for it. If you have a love for it, then you decide, okay, how much money I want to make. Then it's about your mental deposits. Because, life is going to take a deposit. Your mother could die, your father could die, your best friend, and then you just, so we encourage all our artists to set a schedule, have a time that you really get those mental deposit in, and then also work out. Make sure you're in the best shape, and then also learn your music. And I think once you have a schedule for those type of things, then you're able to transition to other things that are greater. But having that schedule is, I'll say all the time, you tell me what your schedule is, I can tell you who you are. So that schedule is very important.
Yeah. Everything's in my calendar. My calendar was every day it's filled. Every single day my calendar is filled. People would try to plan stuff with me, and I'm like, I can't do it last minute. I'm already doing something.
Yeah, that's how you work.
So yeah, man, and it's really, really good to have you guys here, able to speak to artists because I'm an artist. I've been streaming on these platforms for years now. There are artists listening. You know what I mean? And there are artists that are going to tap into this. I've only actually interviewed mostly artists on this couch. So everybody that we've talked to, they are going to be like, oh, I took something away from this. That was just fantastic. A gem, a nugget, It's going to be something that people look over again and again in order to really hone in on, am I even doing the right thing right now? You know what I mean? Because these guys are doing it, And I think it's important for people to see it. We've got Harley with the follow on Twitch. That's Marissa. They said, hey, creative fam.
Yes. Marissa.
Marissa.
I think that's
That's
one of
our
our
girl.
artists. Yeah, she's from Trinidad. She's dope artist.
Shout out Trinidad.
Another thing to add, a lot of we kind of live in a day and age of it's about me, me, and sometimes it's not really about you. Sometimes you need a team outside of you. You need a village. You need someone who can make up your opportunities. So if it's something that you're not good at, maybe hire that person that's going to fill that spot and help you to become great in that area, So I think one of the things that I know is an opportunity for a lot of people is just having a village, having a team, and having that team around you.
Right. So as an artist, in this exact experience, I can say because before I met them, I had the idea that I wanted to perform, right? And I would do the open mics, pay $10, $15 to perform, $20 if you want to skip the line and jump ahead and be a premium spot. And it was good. I'm not no knocking none of that. It's good. It's a good hustle. I don't blame you. But what this is a little bit different. They actually curate you as an artist. They actually help grow you into who you want to be, not just who they think can get the most money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it really, like he said, show me how much money you want to make, or figure out how much money you want to make, and figure out if you have a passion for it. Really, it's like you go through a training or a proving grounds, because to come to practice is taxing sometimes, especially whenever you have other things on your schedule or other obligations. So you may not be feeling like, I don't want to go to practice, but it's it's going to be there at the same time. So if you want it, are you going to show up, or are you going to make excuses? So that's basically what this kind of structure kind of provides for you. And I feel like as a creative myself, like not a part of the creative, but saying like being creative myself, it's hard for me sometimes to keep myself in the box, right?
Right.
But it's great discipline training.
Yeah.
So I would encourage every artist to keep practicing the craft. And go out. Just put yourself out there. Come to an event. Come see the creatives live. Come see us, and then we get to hanging out, interacting. You might get a mic toss from Bunkin' Pain. I might be like, all right, I see you singing that song. Let's sing something, and then you blow the minds of people around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, anything can happen.
Because I'm very humble, man. I'll share the mic with anybody.
And very dependable. This guy, he's gonna come up on. He's gonna be there on time. He's gonna give you his best. If it's 3 people. 100 people, 1,000,000 people, he gonna give you the best. So that's what we love about Bunkin', is that he show love to the music and show love to his fans. He don't care if it's 2 people out there.
Yeah.
So, and then behind the scenes, he's doing the work.
Right.
So I think that question you asked is really what you do behind the scenes, because everybody, when the lights come on, everybody want to shine. But baby, what are you doing when there are no lights and it's just you? Are you working on your craft? Are you working on your skill? Are you being professional? Being on time?
Yeah.
Operating in integrity. That's how we know how you gonna take it to the next level.
Yeah.
And Bunkin', this is my boy. He been going in. He get on our nerves sometimes. We have to reel him back in. But
telling you, it's hard to stay in that box.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay in that box. But that's why you need a team. That's why you need a team.
Yeah. 100%.
And it's not even like I'm confined or anything. You know what I mean? It's just more so. It's like horses with blinders on, right? These are $1 million horses. So you might think that they're limited division. It's not so much the limited division. It's just focused on the pride.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
That's really good.
They're going to run that back about 15 times. Oh, my God. Yeah, we need that on a shirt.
Right? Oh, I like the way you say it.
Now, he also have a show called The Bunkin' Pain Show. It's going to premiere this Friday, right? It's going to premiere this Friday.
Where at?
We're going to stream it on YouTube.
Yeah, streaming on YouTube.
Fan base.
Yeah, fan base. Yep.
Beautiful. I can't wait to check it out.
I appreciate that, man.
I can't wait to check it out. The Bunkin' Pain Show.
Take notes from you, man. I'm going to take some notes.
I'm taking notes right now. And so, wrapping it up here, you talked a little bit about practice, and you talked about how it's hard to show up to practice sometimes. And we talked about loving it and passion.
Yeah.
And so how that resonated for me is a lot of the times, I had to go to school and I had to go to band class. I didn't have to, though. And so the thing is, I really, really love that feeling when we get into the class and we get this new song and we don't know the song and everybody sounds terrible and we're going to festival in like 2 months. And so a week before festival, literally maybe 3 days before festival, it all comes together oh my God. And it sounds like, how did we even do this? That feeling is the reason you show up to practice.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That feeling, if you remember your why, if you have those passions, everything else will fall in line. And we were first place at festival. We took home the prizes at festivals. No matter how long it took us to get the song right, we did. And we were on time, I think that's so important to remember for everyone out there. If you're having a hard time showing up to practice, reevaluate your passions, reevaluate your whys, you know what I mean? Because you're not going to have a hard time showing up to something you love.
That part.
You're going to move everything out of the way for the thing that you love.
That's good.
You know, very, very important to really love the music. And I think everybody here does. And I think it's very apparent through the talks that we've had today. And so where can people find out more about the upcoming performances and events from the Creatives Atlanta?
Yes, so our Instagram, we keep it up to date at all times. So you can check out our bio. You know what's coming down the pipeline. You can also message us 24 hours. You know, we'll get back with you with a speedy reply. So yeah, we keep everything on there, all of our updates and all. So
that's beautiful. Make sure you guys check that out. And that is TheCreatives period Atlanta on Instagram. Make sure you guys go check that out. We've climbed all the way to the top of the mountain on another episode of The Peak. And we're ready to jump off. An amazing time with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
DONFATHER.
Pleasure, man. Yeah,
It's bunking. Thank you so much. Guys, tap in, follow them right now if you haven't already. But thanks everybody for coming through, and I'll see you guys next time.